It's AFA Today, coming to you from the lower Wall Street region of Manhattan, the corner of Wall Street and Broadway, here at just north of the historic Trinity Church Cemetery. And it's one of those things where if you were watching on the AFA channel, you just saw a shot of the Brooklyn Bridge. It's a cold day today, but it's really bright, and just one of those crisp, February days in New York. We got more snow and stuff coming this weekend, so keep us in your prayers. It's going to be a mess, but we're glad that today is like it is. I was just online during the break, and I was looking at Todd Starnes' piece for today. Man, I wish these politically correct people in the school districts would just stop. He writes on Fox News today that the Harwinton Consolidated School District in Connecticut has sent an email to all of the parents in the district, directing them to make sure candy is not attached in any form to any Valentine's Day cards. They're not letting chocolates. They're not letting, anything like that. And they're also not letting those like hard, nasty candies. You remember the really hard? They didn't even taste good. The really hard. It's not sweethearts, but the really hard little hearts. They had things on them like You Rock or True Love or whatever, and they're always kind of cute. But I never wanted to. I don't even know if that's what they were called, but they say stuff on them. And I thought what they said on them were kind of sweet. I thought they tasted gross. I didn't want any part of them. But you can't even have those. Because the Consolidated School District in Connecticut, Harwinton, doesn't want parents to do that. And that's the other thing. My little James, he's going to a school district. He's in preschool, but he is getting some special help in certain areas. And the first day we walked into the orientation, we took a tour of the school. We came out, there was this long list of things that he couldn't do or bring to school. One of them is anything with peanuts in it. You can't even have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We had to go find sunflower butter to put on his PB&J. It's just, and see, we're starting to have these rules, and we have kids that have less tolerance to normal stuff. Like, who died of peanut allergies when I was a kid? I didn't know anybody that had peanut allergies when I was a kid 40 years ago. Today, it's like, they're on the lookout for it, and it's like as though half the population might just keel over if they smell a peanut butter sandwich in their school district. I don't know. Maybe it's a legitimate medical help. To me, it just seems like we're just going so far overboard instead of just living by common sense. If this child doesn't have, if this child has peanut allergies, don't give him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But don't make every other kid in the school not get peanut butter because he didn't, because that one can't have it. I don't know. But that even speaks to the order situation. Well, you can't trust one kid not to give another kid a bite of the sandwich. Why not? Because we don't have parents raising the kids. We don't have children that are obedient. Obedient kids are actually a very good thing for society. I don't know if people realize this or not. I was on my weekend show a few months ago with my partner Stephen Baldwin, and we were talking about discipline in the home, and he has teenage daughters that are now entering the modeling world and doing some other. They're grown. My ankle biters are still hovering beneath my knees, and we got into this. I didn't even remember what I was about, but he said, "How do you get them to obey?" I said, "You expect it of them. You tell them, James, obey daddy. Sit down and do what mommy said." But you don't give them room to not do it. The heart of mankind is deceitfully wicked. We know this. That wickedness is born out of self-absorption, self-importance, and self-focus. It's all about selfishness. When you break selfishness in the spirit of a child, you actually launch that child into a better arena for life. But we have all this modern day parenting that says, oh no, we can't ever say no to our kids. You just got to coddle their every little whim. You got to figure out a way to let them feel empowered and in control of their future. That's a bunch of pucky. You until they're of a certain age, you do what daddy says. And that's the end of it. And what's amazing about that is that when children are in that environment, there is such a freedom and a joy because they know where their limits are. They know exactly where the safety area is because the boundaries are so clear. At least that's been my perspective. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But the schools are trying to say, look, we're going to be absolutely clear. You don't do this or this or this, or you get punished in the school district. And now Eric Holder's going, no. Wait. That's going to make, exponential black and Hispanic kids get in more trouble. However that works, not sure. 888-589-8840. Let's talk to Jody in Texas. Hi, Jody. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I couldn't
Thanks for
agree
being
with
here.
you more. The more politically correctness goes, the more I get amazed. I think that what you have is an increasing amount of absentee dads and a decreasing amount of home cleaning. And I used to manage people. I used to always tell my co-manager that if there's not a consequence for breaking the rule or the law, then why should they follow it? And, the rules and the law.
Well, because, Jody, this is what the modern psychologists will tell you. The way they would follow it is because they're smart, intuitive little individuals that are going to figure things out for themselves, and they're going to do the right thing.
I think, obviously, that's probably not happening.
No, well, they don't believe in the depravity of man. That's the problem.
Exactly.
They don't see the sin nature, so there's nothing to correct. It's just like, they expect them to do the right thing without any training. And my experience is just the opposite. You got to train, and then you pray yourself to death, and you hope that then they start making the right decisions.
And if they can't operate in an environment like school and obey rules and laws or whatever, then what are they going to do when they get out in society? It's going to be the same, only perpetuated further.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Hey, thanks for the call, Jody. Appreciate it, and thanks for listening. Let's go next to Paula, calling from Missouri. Hi, Paula. Welcome. Kevin McCullough is my name. So glad that you're with us on this Friday.
Hi, Kevin. Thank you for taking my call. And I
Sure
just
thing.
want to say right away off the bat that I appreciate what you do for all of us. We sure need your voice.
You're so kind, Paula. Thank you.
I do. I really appreciate it. And there's a big war going on out there, and it's disheartening a lot of times. So guys like you really help us see some hope. I'm calling to say this administration in general is so confusing. They talk out of both sides of their mouth. Nothing makes any sense at all, and it baffles me. So when I hear things like this, it's so discouraging. I have a question to Eric Holder. If more children in poor neighborhoods or underprivileged neighborhoods or whatever are being punished in school for bad behavior, and he's saying, well, they're exponentially Hispanic or black, so it's racism. If that's the population in the school, aren't the naughty kids going to be black or Hispanic if that's the people in the neighborhood? I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, the problem, Paula, is that you're trying to apply logic and truth to an area where there is great gain for them to keep you confused. So just like you were saying, there's massive confusion that this administration puts forward. That's not done entirely by accident. In fact, there are people spending billions of dollars across many different sectors of society, from government to academia to Hollywood. There's major investment being made to keep you purposefully confused so that you're not able to come to a clear understanding. Here's what we should know: that good behavior will be rewarded and bad behavior will be punished. That's what we should know. But we're not allowed to know that because that may in some way hurt someone's feelings at some point in time.
I absolutely agree with you, and I'm so sick of this administration being so racist. They are the most racist people I've ever seen in my life. The thing is, they keep segregating us into groups. We're all Americans. We want the best for all of our children, even the children who break the rules. And not punishing a child that's breaking the rule is setting him up for failure. It is not encouraging him to become a productive citizen and have a decent shot at life. It's so
Paula, not only are you correct, let me explain what their strategy is, and thank you for the call. The spread of mass anarchy allows for the destruction of a society to internally implode much easier. So if you don't have order, if you don't have a reasonable way of enforcing order, and you can create mass chaos, what did Mayor Rahm Emanuel from Chicago say when he was the president's advisor? Never let the opportunity to exploit a good crisis go to waste. Purposefully inserting anarchy and chaos into an otherwise orderly scenario is a great way to agitate social change. When you come into power promising to fundamentally transform, and by that you mean from everything to everything, you need instability, you need anarchy, you need chaos. What I don't understand, and I've never understood this, is that not all people really want that. You know, at some point in time, Eric Holder's going to wake up and go, if we really do encourage the bad behavior to continue in a way that's, non-disciplinary, someday some gang thug's going to come shoot my kid. See, I just go back to the common sense stuff. What about the black and Latino kids that are in the classroom that want to learn? What about those guys? Should they, just because the color of their skin, they should be subjected to not having the bully in the classroom punished just because he's black or Hispanic? I don't think that racial equality was ever meant to say bad behavior could be advanced because you happen to be a person of color. I don't believe that. I've never believed that's what racial equality was about. I think equality is equality. Equality is what God stamps on you and says, you're 100% worth to me. By the way, we don't get our equality from anywhere else. We don't divine equality from the law. We don't divine equality from what a president says or a tyrant or a dictator or anybody else. Just because the government systems or the legal system says that someone may or may not be equal, even to the era of slavery and pre-abolition, when African Americans gathered in black churches and sang and begged God for his grace and mercy, God heard their prayers equally to what he heard of the people that were free. There was no inequality in God's book. There was suffering and injustice and inequality in man's governance of life. But the place where worth is granted, the place where the value of a human being is said, this is how much this person counts, comes from God himself, not from fellow men. Because if fellow men can establish it, then they can take it away. It has to be something larger than us that says that we're equal, which is why I'm glad that that's exactly what God says. 888-589-8840. Charles in Virginia. Hi, Charles. You're up next with Kevin McCullough. Thanks for being here.
How you doing, Kevin?
Good.
Good. It's an excellent conversation. I'm just enjoying listening to it, just sitting on the air.
Thank you.
I'm a black male. I was an educator in the urban school system for about 5 years. My fiance, she's a black female, and she's an educator in an affluent neighborhood in Northern Virginia.
Okay.
So there's a disparity in the kids we teach. I've taught mainly, African American students. About 75-80% of my class was African American. Adversely, about 75-80% of her students are white.
Okay.
No problems there. But the question is discipline being enacted on the students unfairly? And I'm gonna tell you straight up, no, it's not. The kids that are
let's be clear, Charles. The term unfairly is where that all breaks down. So if you're saying, that in her class that's 75% white, that a white student is allowed to do certain things that are wrong, while black students are being punished for doing the same thing, that would be a classic example of something being unfair. But if
right.
students are all under the same judgment, in other words, you do what's wrong, you get the punishment, and it doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, then it even if more kids of a certain ethnicity end up in trouble, as long as the rules were established early on that if you do this, you get in trouble, you can't claim unfairness in that.
Well, yeah, exactly. Now, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you. I'm not gonna list any statistics. I don't know statistics off the top of my head. I'm gonna give you personal experience.
Sure.
In my school, we talk about drugs, guns, and all those things that are illegal. If there's a gun in the school, obviously, remove the kid, get expelled. I think that's across the board. But let's break it down a little bit. Let's go to tobacco, something that's not as heavy of an offense, something that has been a problem in schools, not only in my generation.
How do they handle it? I'm short on time, Charles. I want to make sure we get your point in. How do they handle it?
In my school, with the black kids, zero tolerance. They are expelled. In my fiance's school with the white kids, they weren't. The parents got involved before the expulsion, and they were allowed to come back into school. So I think that's where the statistics are coming in.
But that's a different school district. But that's a different school district, and if the black kids in her class wouldn't be punished for it either, there's still no discrepancy there. Now, within the same schoolroom, if they have different rules for different people, different races, then that's a different story altogether. Anyway, thank you, Charles. Fascinating discussion. Excellent discussion today. AFA Today on AFR Talk. So glad that you're with us. Stay with us each day, Monday through Friday. And come see us online, afatoday.com. That's our Facebook page, afatoday.com. And in the meantime, go to afr.net, click on India Partners, and help save kids out of the human trafficking system.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect those of the American Family Association